You believe that children are being by files in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So why are you sitting down talking to me? Why aren't you sitting down with the police right now?
I've told the police. In fact, if anybody wants to go back to 1993 when I was interviewed by the Santa Barbara Police Department, I sat there and I gave them the names. They're on record. They have all of this information, but they were scanning Michael Jackson. All they cared about was trying to find something on Michael Jackson.
She sat down, the baby bump squashed, bent, and crumpled.
Wanting to scale the wall to get in his house because on the other side of that wall is Beyonce, Jay-Z, and every big star you want to know. T.D. Jakes was there too, but I don't know if he was busting open. I'm just saying. Because they said that too about the Good Bishop.
Jay-Z has exhibited signs of envy, jealousy, hate, and stopping bags behind the scenes, allegedly. Why is it always the same story? So that means Nas made all of that stuff up. DMX made all of that stuff up.
Now you kind of look at him like scoundrels. What won't you do for that damn career? Listen, this is a disgusting business. That's all I'm gonna say. This business is so disgusting that I can't. I think that Jay-Z and Beyonce are master manipulators.
Hold up. Did Beyonce just get publicly cornered by Jason Lee, Nicki Minaj, and Wendy Williams? From the outside, it feels like 2026 is lining up to be a pressure year for Beyonce. And critics are already framing it as a crisis of her own making. According to whispers circulating through industry circles, she was tied to machinery behind Wendy's conservatorship. And now there are claims she was allegedly aligned with higher-ups at Roc Nation to explore the same control structure around Nicki. Jason Lee hasn't been subtle either. He's been circling Beyonce for months, even describing a moment he says he caught her and Jay-Z in a compromising situation at a party hosted by Diddy. But now, the tone has shifted from gossip to something darker, because what he's alleging this time goes beyond scandal into power and punishment. For context, Jason Lee once had proximity to Diddy through his work at Revolt TV, which meant access to rooms most people never enter, and psychologically, that's why his claims at heart.
I'm gonna tell them while Johnny puts a beep over this part of the show, so you'll never know what it is, but I want you to see their reactions, and I'm going to do it right now. Ooh, and that's where I go back to, like, we're friends in the game. We support each other. We help each other out. Can you imagine had I put that on Hollywood Law? Oh, there was one more thing. This, Johnny.
Woo!
So that in itself, I think Beyonce could have gave me a, you know what I mean? Like, there should be a little love there. Now,
maybe she doesn't know.
Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce. They're not going to share that with her.
Yvette knows. I got the receipts. I still have the receipts. Yvette, no, I got the receipts. I got them. Now, if I get that message to Beyonce,
yes,
I can get it to I'm connected. I could get the message to Beyonce.
She needs to know.
And I think people like her publicist, who I love, and I'm just being critical. That's just what I do. You know that, Yvette. We're trying to book Kelly Rowland right now. Now, if I don't get Kelly Rowland because I say this about, then it's gonna be a problem. Then I'm putting out receipts. The receipts I just told you about, then I'll put those out. Whew.
The fires that will come over there.
I ain't worried. I ain't going nowhere. I'm telling you right now, I'm not playing this industry game.
At the time, a lot of people weren't taking Jason Lee seriously. He sounded entitled, and it looked like he was only mad at Beyonce because she didn't put him on the guest list. Most folks thought it was just ego and attention-seeking. But once rumors started spreading about alleged connections between Beyonce and Jay-Z to Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein, the tone shifted. And people began wondering if he'd been hinting at something deeper. Jason Lee then went live on Instagram and claimed he personally saw who attended Diddy's parties. He named Tiana Taylor, Jordan Woods, Travis Scott, Black China, Usher, DaBaby, Justin Bieber, Tyrese, Amber Rose, Mary J. Blige.
You know, a lot of these celebrities, every single celebrity in the culture has been to Diddy's house, which means They've gone through all his phones, text messages. I can read you my text message to Diddy. What day is it airing on the show, on the network? Are you coming on the show? Diddy, what's this? It's all been business for me. It's been business for me. I don't have nothing inappropriate to them people because I don't deal with them like that. So you mean to tell me all those late nights, what you doing, where you at? Yeah, at his house. I've seen T.D. Jakes at his house. I've seen Chris Brown at his house. I've seen Jordan Woods at his house. I've seen Travis Scott at his house. I've seen Beyonce at his house. I've seen Tiana Taylor. I've seen them all. Now, we was all in the backyard, but I've seen them all. I've seen Usher there. I've seen DaBaby there. I've seen Justin Bieber there. I've seen... Everybody's been to a Diddy party. I've seen Lindsay Lohan, Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, Tyrese, Amber Rose. I've seen them all have been there. Mary J. Blige.
Oh, but Jason Lee wasn't done yet. Just days after that post, he came back claiming Jay-Z and Beyonce allegedly sent people to pressure him once they heard what he'd been saying. He said they were supposedly calling him nonstop, pushing him to walk back his words, and even publicly defend them. But he made it.
Why would I, Jason Lee, I'm getting calls. And I haven't even said anything. Go there. I stopped a major thing for Beyonce. Jay-Z and Beyonce is going to see this. I am exhausted with people calling me about Jay-Z and Beyonce. You've never called for anything else. And I haven't even said anything about you yet. And yet I'm getting all these calls. I've gotten more calls over the weekend about Jay-Z and Beyonce. But I will tell you, to the audience, if I do come up missing, all the calls I've been getting have been about him.
But it didn't stop there. Around the same time Jason Lee started calling Beyonce out was when Nicki Minaj also began going off about them, accusing them of trying to erase him. At first, Nicki was mainly targeting Jay-Z, but people say she later realized Beyonce was tied into what was happening and acting innocent about it. So she brought her into it too. For example, when Nicki was tweeting about Jay-Z and even claiming he owed her $200 million, Beyonce posted Sir Davis promo on Instagram, and Nicki shaded her by tweeting, "Robot on timing." Before that, Nicki had already been on Stationhead playing her old song with Beyonce, "Feeling Myself," and she told fans that just because she plays a collaboration from the past doesn't mean she likes the artist now. Since her song with Beyonce was playing when she
like music, it doesn't mean that I rock with the person or whatever. Like, I really want y'all to know this. I hate to have to say this. What we doing? Like, are we rocking with, or we ain't rocking with? And that's why I love them. That's why I love y'all. But so I just wanted to make that disclaimer, so everybody know from now till whenever, okay? Just because I play a song that I happen to be featured on, don't mean shit. See, kick them right in my throat.
But Nicki pushed the narrative into dangerous territory when she stepped into the Jeffrey Epstein discussion and openly accused Beyonce and Jay-Z of being connected to it. She claimed Jay-Z was predatory and went even further, suggesting that he and Beyonce were tied to secret sacrifices to stay on top, language that sounded less like evidence and more like symbolism about power and corruption. She described fame as something maintained through dark loyalty, framing the industry as a cult where innocence is the price of survival. Psychologically, that kind of accusation lands because it turns celebrity success into something people can blame, but also crosses into imagery that has no verified proof behind it. Then Tasha K entered the conversation and claimed she had insider information, which made people question whether Beyonce was involved in the controversial guardianship around Wendy Williams. According to her, a source connected to Roc Nation alleged that Beyonce and Jay-Z had discussed putting Nicki under a similar legal control. The claim continued that it supposedly failed because Nicki was married. Supporters of that theory...
This is not something that is like a conspiracy theory. This actually happens. But if they're able to separate Nicki and Kenny, that makes Nicki vulnerable because your husband is your power of attorney. Your husband is your signator on all of your accounts in the event anything goes wrong. Michael wasn't married. Britney Spears was married, but of course they control all of that. And so the mere fact that all these narratives are out about Kenny stealing this to buy chains and buy that, that's not what it is. It's like, you know, they got doctors that are giving out these diagnoses saying that she's schizophrenic and bipolar and all of this stuff. And then Kenny's now here. You know, she trusts Kenny. Of course, they've known each other since they were kids. Their families know each other. And so Kenny is just in the way. And so what do? You create narratives to try to separate, because if you separate, then you can divide and conquer. And so that's what it's about. You know, she's going into her latter years and, you know, there's a lot of money on the line and she's worth a lot, but Kenny is in the way. And so, yeah, I mean, look at what they're doing to Wendy Williams. Had Wendy would have still been with Kelvin, they wouldn't have been able to put her under a conservatorship because she has a husband. So, you know, and like I said, there was only one that was stealing. We're gonna leave it at that. Okay.
It's now being speculated that the claims about Wendy Williams being misdiagnosed weren't some random coincidence like the industry wants people to believe. Allegedly, someone extremely powerful pulled serious strings to make that happen, because Wendy was sitting on information tied to Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein, and the goal was to silence her before she could make the situation worse. And honestly, that theory seems believable to some, because Wendy had several independent mental health evaluations done proving she wasn't mentally unstable, yet none of them were taken seriously. What's interesting is that even before rumors about Beyonce being linked to Epstein started spreading, Wendy had already called Beyonce out years earlier. Some people might not remember, but back in 2011, Beyonce broke the internet when her supposed baby bump appeared to fold and collapse on live TV. And the craziest part is that even though millions watched it happen in real time, her team still tried damage control by posting bikini photos to prove the bump was real. Those pictures look like any woman who just ate a big Thanksgiving dinner. A lot of people weren't convinced, and Wendy was one of them. She went on her show the very next day and accused Beyonce of faking her pregnancy. Wendy even mentioned Kathy White, the woman rumored to be Jay-Z's pregnant mistress that Beyonce supposedly got rid of. Bringing up Kathy was risky, because at that time, no major media outlet would
as alleged mistress away. Beyonce's going to use a surrogate so she can maintain, but they're going to play it off like it's allegedly, you know, that they gave birth.
Oh. And Wendy wasn't exaggerating about Beyonce having only 3 people in the room during her supposed birth, because it matches reports of what actually happened. Beyonce allegedly spent over $1.3 million to rent the entire hospital floor just to deliver her baby in private. That raises a question. What was she hiding that required such extreme measures for secrecy? And then there are the explosive claims from Larry Johnson, who accused Beyonce of acting inappropriately around 18-year-olds at a Hollywood party. Larry and Jay-Z were close friends until their relationship suddenly ended, a rift that wasn't public at the time. According to Larry, the fallout happened because he confronted Beyonce over alleged secretive behavior involving underage individuals, a claim that...
Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house. And we were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play. And after the game, it had to be like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild, like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me. So when I hear something like this happens, I can't really discount it and say, oh, he could never do this, because I'm hearing stories, I'm seeing it with my own eyes, and I've been in situations where something don't sound or look right, and it's usually involving children.
Girl, I don't know what's really going on with these Hollywood elites or why they all seem drawn to secretive, bizarre behavior. But at this point, Jason Lee, Wendy Williams, and Nicki Minaj might seriously need to rethink their security. Because if even half of these alleged connections are true, their lives could be at risk. Meanwhile, the public weighed in. One fan wrote, and people do believe Nicki. Trust me, she doesn't usually speak on behind-the-scenes stuff. So when she does, people listen. I think she's just tired of them all. Another added, Bass, God has a plan for you. You can't escape. Psychologically, this resonates because audiences crave a mix of exposure and morality play. A peek behind the curtain that confirms what they suspected about power and secrecy. Now the real question is, what do you think? Are Jason Lee, Nicki, and Wendy truly exposing Beyonce? Or is this performance layered over reality? And do you believe Beyonce is capable of the actions being alleged? Drop your thoughts.